I'm Cemil Uylukçu from Turkey. I live in the United States. I'm the founder of ProWES, Profound Wing Chun and Eskrima organization. I started martial arts when I was 8 with Turkish style freestyle wrestling because my grandfather and father was wrestlers. And this is my almost 22nd, 23rd years in martial arts. And I still see myself as student because I believe if you stop being student, you're becoming closed-minded. So martial arts way, by the way, we call it martial arts because it's not just fighting. Fighting and self-defense is part of it, but we call it martial arts because martial arts is not just physical. You can express yourself in martial arts or any art, you know. So that's why we like to call it martial arts. We found this organization, ProWES, 2011. We teach students two systems, two arts, Wing Chun and Eskrima. Wing Chun is Chinese Kung Fu, and Eskrima is Filipino martial art. But they're two separate systems, but they share similar tactics in philosophy and also ideas. What we do in Wing Chun and Eskrima, mental-wise, is similar. I mean, it's not just physical, it's also mental. We try to teach our students how to express themselves. It's our most important goal. Wing Chun is a traditional Kung Fu style founded by women 350 years ago. Tactic-wise, we don't fight against force. We don't wrestle or we don't block. What we do is we have different kind of footworks, also different kind of strategies and tactics. Techniques, we got plenty of them, but the techniques, it's actually not that meaningful. If you don't know how to apply those tactics with that technique, so it doesn't mean anything by itself. We don't worry about aesthetics because we deal with real situations. So it doesn't mean we're street fighters, we don't teach street fighting, but we're giving them some tool so they know how to protect, how to defend themselves if something happened in the street. I personally don't believe how to defend yourself in 10 lessons because if it doesn't become your skill, it's useless in the street because everything happens this quick and you should be quick, you should decide quick what you need to do. Everything you train hard for it, that becomes your skill, so you need a lot of repetition. Because if it's not natural, in real situation, with that adrenaline and with that stress, you feel panic. Panic is negative part of adrenaline stress. What we want to do is using that fear positive way. So yin and yang, that philosophy is really important for what we're doing for Wing Chun. We use that yin and yang even in one technique. For example, if we go to the physical part, one arm moving soft, the other arm moving hard, so it's yin and yang. Our footwork, we put the body weight on one leg, the other is relaxer to be able to defend or move, rotation. It's yin and yang. But also, we want our students to balance, find that yin and yang balance in themselves. I mean, even if you're doing hard, you know, or brutal looking techniques, if they don't be friendly outside, if they cannot balance their life and their character, we don't like that, we don't want that. So that's why martial arts is not that easy to understand at first. Most of the students, I'm talking in general about martial art, when they start, they get pumped up because they start believing themselves. They start, you know, trusting their skills, and it affects their ego. Their ego go high. But after a while, when they see that there's still a lot of things to learn, so it's a good balance. If you're talking about self-defense, I mean, you cannot be only defensive. So Wing Chun tactic actually is really similar in Eskrima too. That's why we teach Wing Chun and Eskrima in the same organization. Our tactic is outside, attack and defense at the same time. But also, we want our student to be softer inside, because if they understand weapons, if they understand how can use their body as weapon, they understand how dangerous those techniques are. So it's a good balance. They see that in the training. Of course, they cannot go full force because they're practicing with their partners. They learn control. They also learn respect. But if you see someone fighting too much, that actually shows that person is insecure. So insecurity is actually dangerous. It affects martial artists. So they should win that insecurity, building up their skills, and also learning how to respect their partners, and also if they understand those techniques are dangerous, with weapons, I'm talking about Eskrima, or without weapons, empty hand maybe in Wing Chun, they don't want to use those techniques all the time, only if they're in danger. That happens in their life, maybe never, maybe a couple times, but that feeling, I mean that confidence, affect their body language. It doesn't mean high ego. I mean, confidence is a little different than high ego. High ego is not good at all. We don't want that. Sparring is like not real fight. You cannot make it 100% real, because I'm talking about real street situation. It's close to that. Because in sparring or in match, you got protections, you got referee, you got instructors watching. So you know you're friends and you're not gonna hurt each other in real. And if something happens, you know, the referee or the instructor or who's controlling the sparring gonna split you up, break the fight or the sparring. And so you cannot make it 100% real. And we don't want that as well. Sparring or that kind of exercises, that make students to realize that, oh, it's a lot going on here. Chemicals, I mean the adrenaline going, stress, fear, they don't know what strike coming from which angle. So it's such complicated exercise actually. If you get that skill, if you get those tactics in martial arts, it affects your life. And also, same if you experience that in real life, business or just your relationship, anything, then you start understanding, you start focusing on something else. You still become friendly, you still become relaxed, and also you start focusing on different things. In business, you start, focusing more on deals. Okay, you start focusing what they offer you, or verbal fight with your relationship and your girlfriend, boyfriend. You start understanding, oh, okay, so I should calm down. Why I'm fighting, verbal fighting? We're human, and of course, our temper goes high sometimes, but you know, we can still talk, relax, and try to solve the problems in normal, relaxed way. So I think martial arts and many different physical activities help people to understand all these. It's a good benefit of martial arts. If you want to find a good instructor, you should look at his or her students. Because if you're talking about martial arts, if it's an art, I feel like I'm a martial artist. And if I'm artist, my art pieces are my students. Because, you can say someone is good fighter. If you watch one of their match, you can see how he moves and stuff. Okay, you can say he's a good fighter. But if you want to know somebody is good instructor or not, you should definitely go and look at his or her students. That's the only way you understand is or she is good or not. For the beginners, when you start a martial arts class, you actually, most of the time, you don't know you're gonna keep doing it or you're gonna fall in love with it or not. But once you fall in love with the art or martial arts, and if you want to go deeper, if you go high level or deeper in philosophy, becoming like part of your life. And after doing that all those years, for example me, after a while you cannot separate it from yourself. It's becoming one with your soul, and you become that thing, that art you're doing, and art becoming you. if you have something you're really in love with, I mean, it's becoming your natural, so it's becoming your habit. I mean, you like to do it, you enjoy doing it. Even if you're professional, still you don't see it like a job, because it's your passion. So for me, martial art is a passion. It's passion for me, and I enjoy teaching. When I see that vibe, when I see that energy from the student, I mean, it makes you motivated, and it makes you keep going and going. And another good motivation is to see a lot of new things still you need to learn. Everyone in my organization are students. Because if you close your mind and if you say that I finished the system, I'm master of it, I finish it, yes, you finished, mental-wise, because you're closed-minded. So that's why we need to keep our mind open. I like one saying, which is, keep your mind open, mouth shut. Means just keep your silence, keep studying or keep practicing, keep your mind open all the time. For students who want to go deep in these arts, or want to be professional, or want to have it as a passion, do it for whole life, I advise them to keep practicing, never quit. Sometimes when things going complicated, I mean, we human beings, we emotionally go down and we lose our motivation when it gets too complicated. Let's say we teach them some combination of, I don't know, some techniques. I mean, it's you understand it, but to be able to apply it, you need to practice for it, and it takes some time to make it your own skill. I advise students to keep going, keep practicing, keep their discipline, respect your instructor. Biggest secret is repetition, dedication, and your passion, and becoming one with the art. I want to thank the Cabana Group to having me here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. We had a great weekend, and it was a nice event. It was so much fun for me, because what I'm trying to do in ProWES, Cabana Group share exactly the same vision. We share similar mentality, and that's why I'm really glad to meet all of you guys. And I know many of you couldn't participate this event, and I'm hoping to see you maybe next time. It was good motivation for me to see people who participated all over Brazil. It means a lot for me, and also I know it means a lot for Cabana Group, and it's a nice group. I'm really happy to know all you guys. It was a lot of fun for me.